Hey yo, it's Tarot Bravo right back at you again. So for this reading, we are going to be talking about the dreaded self-pity. So self-pity, self-centeredness is something that I have struggled with a lot in my personal and spiritual growth, and I've seen it everywhere. Every single person has some form of self-pity, whether it's hidden, whether it's obvious, whether you're stuffing it down, whether you're obsessed with it. So let's get right into this reading. It is going to be a spiritual perspective, advice, just a dialogue with the tarot and I and you here on Self-Pity. Welcome to Tarot Bravo. So first off, what we see here is that this is a question of maturity. That when we are acting in self-pity and self-centeredness, we are not in touch with our consciousness. We are not in touch with our higher version of ourself, the higher mind, the higher self, if you will, that new age cliche. So one way that we can quote unquote fix this is to step up to the plate and act your age, act with your maturity, act with also a sense of innocence towards yourself, compromise with yourself, because understand, yeah, sometimes we are the victim, but it doesn't help existing in that victim mentality. So some other advice here for that is living in the present moment, seeing it as one moment at a time, and that we live in each moment as a singular individual, but all of these different moments are connected to create that whole. So another advice here is realizing the abundance in our lives, realizing how powerful just the law of attraction, just the viewpoint of what you see in yourself, what you see in others surrounding you, tuning in, turning into that inner abundance will manifest the outer abundance, but again, not for a selfish reason, not for a sense of greed or that sort of thing. So really, yeah, again, to reiterate that advice here, what is blocked when that self-pity is activated? And I've been stuck in it so many times. And when I look at my reaction to that, sometimes I'll react to that self-pity with more self-pity and just be down on myself for feeling self-pity and then more self-pity on top of that, and it's this endless cycle. To step out of that is to rise up into this inner awareness, and meditation can really help with that. And I don't mean sitting on a cushion chanting Om. I mean meditation as awareness, centering your consciousness and centering it in your heart, in your third eye, behind your eyes, in your mind. You just center it within yourself and your center, if you will. And this takes courage, this takes strength to rise above this, self-centered little mind state. And part of this is stepping up and realizing how powerful it is to be a human being and to see ourselves without that sense of cynicism, to see ourselves once again with innocence. And again, that abundance. And so part of this is the hesitation is not a good thing. The hesitation towards making that change is going to keep us in a state of feeling incomplete. So when the inclination towards self-pity and self-centeredness, selfishness arises, we feel wishy-washy, like I don't know what to do with this, I'm gonna think about it. And as soon as those thoughts come in, that's when there is difficulty in that change. So what it's saying, when you look at yourself, don't look at yourself as being able to sit there and sit in your BS, sit in your stress and self-pity. Just snap out of it, tune in. It's not a thought, it's an action within your mind and body, and aligning that. So we could talk about this forever. There's so much to go into, but I just want to emphasize that stressing about it and seeing it as a burden is not helpful. Living in the moment, seeing it as one step forward, not dwelling on the self-pity. These are the things that will get us out of it. Strength and courage is action. The ability to introspect, looking inside oneself, that is strength. And it's not always easy, but focusing on the difficulty of it isn't a helpful tactic. Rising above it, looking at things again with the beginner's mind, with that innocence and harnessing that inner strength. So that's all for now. We could go into this subject again, but this is just some general advice that I wanted to share. It's easy to say, not so easy to practice, but having a good attitude about it is. So I want to thank you again for listening. You can check out some of these other videos, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, and thank you for tuning in.